I'm from South Shore, and if you ever listen to Common or Rashid, it's 87. So I'm from the 7.
Okay. And where do you live now?
Now I live, what would it be called? We don't know if we're Lakeview or North Center.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Okay.
I'm Mariama Cosey. I am a 3rd generation Chicagoan. I teach in the Chicago public school system. And this is my neighborhood story. So we were homeschooled, and so we weren't allowed to go to school in our neighborhood. So one of the relatives decided they were going to call DCFS if we weren't sent to school. And so my Catholic raised father decided to send us to the Nation of Islam school. And we would take the Stony Island bus. And it was the closest school that fit with his way of thinking. And he was all about women being modest and, you know, righteous and all that great stuff. And he wouldn't even allow my mom to work. So he was really into the 1950s woman and the Nation of Islam's, you know, version of what a woman should be. So we took the 28 bus to school every day, and you had to wear these dookie colored brown uniforms with this yellow, pea-colored yellow butter-neck blouse and these brown socks that matched. And so it was a hideous uniform, and you had to wear a tam. So we didn't have to wear the hijabs, but we wore these brown tams. And you know, once you got there, they talked about, you know, what a good sister should be like, and they went into all their rhetoric. So of course they were kind of sexist. Yeah. So I loved going home on the bus and escaping, you know, the oppressive Islamic religion when it comes to being a wonderful woman or whatever, I guess. And we get on the bus at 75th and Stony, and this woman would get on the bus in her mini skirt, heels, and her mini skirt and her top would have these sequins, and she'd have this exaggerated dark brown hair and makeup, and she looked like she'd just come off the stage. And her name, I found out, was Rosemary. And it was a stark contrast to having spent the full day with these women in hijabs and overcoats, and you know, you're listening to everybody tell you how, oh, you hide your beauty, you know, because if brothers see your beauty, then you know you're being evil, and you're not being modest. And this woman would get on the bus in her heels and her sparkling, studded, mini, wonderful outfit. I wanted to wear it, but I was a kid. And she would get on, and the whole bus would just stop and look at her. No one would insult her. Everyone would stare at her. She didn't care. She walked down the aisle of the bus like it was a runway. And she would get off at 79th Street, and everybody would just basically go at the same time, because you wouldn't dare say anything to her about why you dressed like that, because she just carried this aura like, you know, I'm gorgeous and I know it, and you better not say anything crazy to me. And the bus driver knew her. And to this day, I don't know where she lives. I know that she was a shake dancer in Augill Garden. If you mention her to old timers, they know who you're talking about. They know her name is Rosemary, but they don't know where to find her. I even got on the 28 maybe 3 years ago, and the bus driver was like, "Oh yeah, now she picks up her grandkids. She looks the same. She's got these big, pretty legs, and she's got to be in her 80s because she's older than my mom, who's 70 something." But I'm sure that blues song about people loving a woman with big legs has to be about her. And no one can tell me where she is. But she made Sister Clara Muhammad a palatable experience. She was like dessert after okra. And that's my neighborhood story.